Vince, WWE ticket sales are dropping. What's going on here? No, WWE's ticket sales are starting to drop, and there's rumors that management wasn't happy with WWE Saturday Night's ticket performance. Could we be at the beginning of a real decline in WWE attendance? Let's jump into it. So, do you think this is the result of bad creative finally catching up to them?
A little bit. There's definitely some fatigue, storyline fatigue, but I think that beyond that, it's probably a bit more of price fatigue because even through all the bad years when Vince was putting on a relatively crummy product, prior to like 2020 or whatever it was that they kind of started to do better, the attendance was still, they were still selling shit out. And if not, it was damn close, 9,000, 10,000, 12,000 people venues. So
There was a
I think
point,
that,
I think in like 2016, where it did start to drop a lot. Do you
yeah,
remember that?
they probably just ran smaller venues to compensate for it. But yeah, they were still probably running like 7,000, 8,000 person venues.
So what you just said kind of leads me into my second question for you. How much do you think the product it's the product itself versus inflated ticket prices or market oversaturation?
Well, it's a combination of all of the things, unfortunately, I hate to keep harping on the ticket price thing, but they have increased the prices exponentially, and the one dickhead, I can't remember his name, the guy that's in charge of all of the stuff, keeps getting out there and talking about how they're making record profits, and they think that there's still more room for growth in
I forget
terms
his
of the
name,
price.
but I remember
And
reading that.
it's like what an out of touch dickhead, you know?
Yeah, that he still feels like there's more room for growth in ticket sales. That literally means
Yeah.
just charging people more.
Yeah. And it's like, well, who? Say what you want about Vince, but he remembered that, wrestling is generational, wrestling is a family thing. I watched wrestling with my grandma and went to wrestling events with my dad and my grandma when I was a kid,
He
you
priced it
know.
for families.
Yeah, exactly.
He actually gave the family deals out. Like you get 4 tickets, get a little bit of a deal on it, stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never been to WWE event before, but being in Charlotte during the summer when I was a kid, they would come in all the time, and you would actually hear them advertising it because the internet wasn't as big as a thing back in the day with people
Yeah.
buying stuff. They would be advertising family packages like on the radio while I would be at work with my dad. So, I mean, that's what they were all about, trying to get those young buyers in. That way, you would have like a lifetime of wrestling fans.
Makes sense. Well, do you think that this dip could snowball through WrestleMania season, or do you think that all that hype's gonna save them for a bit?
That is a pretty good question there. You know, we'll see if they put on a really. I feel like WrestleMania last year was an obvious decline in quality from the year prior with The Rock being involved, and they didn't have any legends at last year's WrestleMania for the most part. The Rock did come out right during at some point. I can't even remember, but I just feel like compared to a lot of past WrestleManias and even Royal Rumbles, when people have been coming out like last year, there's no big surprises from past guys, and like that's a big thing that WWE has always relied on is nostalgia, and Vince definitely understood that more. But either way, that's a side topic. I think that they're definitely going to get the increase in tickets around WrestleMania season, but will it be down compared to last year if they keep putting on crappy events? 100%.
Yeah. Well, did WWE get lazy because they thought the product was bulletproof, or is this just kind of a thing that happens?
I think that, yeah, I mean, there's definitely always like an up and a down and an even flow and all that, but yeah, they definitely thought that their product was bulletproof. And I think it shows in how lazy the writing is and how stale the product is. Stale's the perfect word I think for WWE right now.
Yeah. Well, we've seen this story before. When the product gets stale, the crowd starts shrinking.
Yeah, WrestleMania will mask it for a little bit, but if they don't fix the quality, those seats aren't going to fill themselves, are they?
No, exactly. And well, why don't you let us all know what you think in the comments? And if you enjoy these breakdowns, make sure to like, subscribe, and keep the conversation going.
If you like this clip, we got a lot more exclusively on the Overmark podcast. 4 episodes twice every week and several videos weekly. Make sure to check it out.